Hello guys, welcome back to another live trade recap. So to summarize, for people who don't know, trade recaps are trades that I have taken throughout the week, and I go over why I took the trade, what was my thought process when I was in the trade, when I took the profits, why I took the profits, and where. And I basically just go over the trade. And usually when I'm in the trades, I can't really explain everything that I saw for why I took the trades and all that good stuff. So that's what the trade recaps are for, because S&P and Nasdaq move a lot fast, and usually I miss very important stuff that happens. And yeah, I'm just gonna go over today what I looked for. So I'm noticing something very interesting on the S&P. We can see this volume profile created here, where they spent a lot of time, and it's kind of acting as support. So I'm trying to look to go build some longs at this point. So you basically just heard why I took the long. So we can see this volume profile here, and expecting price to push up even higher. We can see this trend, how price likes to go up even higher and higher. We can see that there has been some choppy price action right here at the highs, but I still expected some moves to the upside, because we can see all this selling came here at this volume profile, but you can see price did not drop, which means these sellers are being absorbed. They're being trapped, and anytime soon I would expect price to push up. Also, another thing is that we can see this empty volume profile, which means there hasn't been that much contracts transacted here, and the price doesn't really like that. They like to even out the book to make it fair for everyone. So they're gonna go up to level out the book and to transact some more. We can see that there is a lot more bids. So you can see 900 on the bids. It's a lot more than 800 on the offers. So there is that protection from the bids to go up even higher. We can see also buys coming in on the S&P as well. For some volume profile, so some to go and build some value area high, because it didn't really create. So I'm gonna skip the video a bit. And the reason I have Nasdaq right here on the right is because Nasdaq sometimes likes to move fast first, or not sometimes, but most of the times Nasdaq moves first, because it requires less liquidity to move. So if order comes in on the Nasdaq, it's more likely that it will push up than the S&P, and you can get the feel for how the price moves just by looking at the Nasdaq and how it moves up and down. So you can get the speed of the candle, you can get the feel for how the market moves. Here I have the meters. I'm gonna reset them to see if the buys coming in my favor. We can just see how extended this move to the upside is, and we can see that they have been trading in this zone for quite some time, and we're expecting that move to the upside. So you can see how there is a bit more buying than selling. You can see 74 against 65, and then you see that move up. You can also see bids coming in. You can see this 29 on the bids, which means someone is coming in and buying from the sellers at the market price, which means price doesn't drop down because someone is buying all those sell contracts here. And you can also see on the offer on the opposite side is the same thing, but you can see them pulling from the offers, which means that they don't want to sell here and they want to sell higher. So price moves up in the short term, which is possibly happening right now. You can see, do you see the fast move up on the Nasdaq? You can see how much more ticks Nasdaq covered compared to the S&P. So that's why sometimes I like to look at Nasdaq and trade Nasdaq as well, because it covers more ground. You can be in profits much sooner. I have some imbalances up here that I can trade towards. This can be a fairly short trade if it moves in my favor. So let's see. 88 on the buy side. We can see that there is more offers than the bids, but we are still moving up, which is good. Did you see the fast push up? How they moved up from this point where I entered? They transacted here, they went up, down. Then that last sweep down happened, and then that fast push up. So some big players here protecting the zone. They wanted higher prices. So that was a good reason for me to hold the trade. You can again see people pulling from the offers. You can see these empty shops. So these empty places at the ladder means that no one transacted here. There was no selling. So that's why it shot up so easily. There was no resistance from the sellers, and buyers easily managed to push price up even higher. There's the move, nice. Nasdaq's breaking. You can just see the amount of buying compared to selling, how there is literally like 3-4 times more buying than selling as we're going up. So these sellers are being scared. So there is nothing to push price down. In the highs, we can see how Nasdaq moved first, and then you can see Nasdaq is already at its highs, just because, as we said, Nasdaq likes to move a lot faster and it covers a lot more ground. So we can see that Nasdaq already broke the highs, and S&P is very close to it. And usually when one asset breaks the high, the other will follow and break its high as well, which is this 51. S&P followed. There's the move, nice. So it's literally a no-brainer to just hold the trade. You can see again 147 on the buy side. A lot of buying here as well. 162. That's a nice amount of buying, but it's not going up. You need to be very careful here that they don't sweep down. Just this see this selling coming in, 141. But what you also see is again bids coming in, so they're buying from the sellers. But you can also see the same thing happening on the buys as well. In these instances, you have to be careful. You have to just watch who will win. And the only way to know that is if you stay patient, you stay in the trade, and you just focus on what the price is telling you. Can they sustain this move? Let's see. And you can also see a lot more buying than selling, which also tells you, it gives you the clue that, yeah, price is most likely going to go up. That's a lot of selling, but then it quickly pushes up as well. Again, the same thing happening here. We saw them trade. They drop down, they quickly come back up. You see again here, trade. First they drop down, then they quickly come back up again. So they're basically trapping these sellers. See Nasdaq moving up. Nasdaq's trying its best to break this high. And S&P will follow. There's the move, nice. Can we see some more? There's the first move up again. You can see again a lot more buying than selling. You can see this 112 on the offer, which is going to act as a magnet. Price likes to move up to the places where they can transact. You can also see there is a half number here, 5650. It's a round number, and people like those round numbers, and that's also where you see this big offer as well. Not really seeing any interest from the buyers. I need to see more buying here. As Nasdaq's moving up, there's the S&P. Come on. I'm seeing some selling. I'm seeing some selling here. Should I get out? I'm gonna get out. So yeah, this is the point where I got out, and the reason was because I didn't see that much buying coming in at the highs. And usually when they're so close to the highs, you would want to see like 3-digit buying, but I didn't see that. I didn't see those aggressive buyers. So me being a very impulsive trader, I just got out because I don't like to stay in the trades if I don't see orders coming in my way, if you guys can understand that. So yeah, I just got out from the trade. Even if it does actually break this high and goes up even further, I don't really care because I just took the profits. I saw something I didn't like. I'm very impulsive, as I said, and I took the profits. Nothing wrong with that, of course. So yeah, that's the trade. Hope you guys, of course, learned something. I know I do learn a lot from myself when I do these trade recaps because I can see my mistakes. I can see where I did, what I did right, what I did wrong, where I can improve. So yeah, hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.